الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته وأهل بيته وعلماء ملته وشهداء محبته وابنه الكريم الغوث الأعظم عبد القادر الجيلي وحزبه وبارك وسلم. أما بعد، فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في شأن حبيبه الكريم: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذريته وأهل بيته أجمعين. صدق الله المولانا العظيم، صدق رسوله النبي الحبيب الكريم، ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. جماعة المسلمين، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We are in the midst of discussing the 27 different stations of elevation, stations of status between an ordinary human and the person and personality of our beloved Nabi Sayyidina Moulana Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We have spoken the 17 stages last week, where we discussed the Siddiq. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states in the Holy Quran: من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين. Siddiq is a state or is a station below the station of Nubuwah, prophethood. Above the station of Siddiq is the station of prophethood, and below that is Sayyidina, is the state or the station of Siddiq. And the biggest Siddiq in the Ummah is none other than Amir al-Mu'mineen Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. It's a very high and very elevated status. Siddiq, Imam al-Siddiqeen. While I am on this subject, I would like to also inform you about the station of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, which is unanimous, and it is agreed amongst the Ummah and the Ulema that the station of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, or the status of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, is below the Prophet of Allah. Therefore, in the khutbah you find the Khatib reciting in the second khutbah: أفضل البشر بعد الأنبياء بالتحقيق أمير المؤمنين سيدنا أبا بكر الصديق رضي الله تعالى. So, after a prophet, the station and status unanimously of the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah is that of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala. Now, when you find the station of a Nabi, and below that, immediately below that, is the station of a Siddiq. In between this region, it is known as a region of sir, a region of secrets. So the person or the group that is above knows what is below, but those who are underneath not necessarily knows what is above. So there is a region between this, like if you look at my both hands, the one on top is the station of, it's just a metaphor and an explanatory stance I'm taking here, station of a Nabi, and below that is station of a Siddiq. In between this region, it is a region of secrets. Secrets known to one who is above, and not necessarily the one below knows it. Why Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala got that status, so high status, that he is a person holding the status after a prophet, is unanimous, is because what secrets lay above him, above his maqam, above his station, above him, that is known to the prophet. Those secrets were taught to him by Sayyidina Rasulullah. So he is the only person that is aware of all those secrets, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned this to him. And furthermore, it is stated that whenever the beloved Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to have an experience with Allah, like in the hadith it stated, li ma'allahi waqtun, that I have an experience with my Lord. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, li ma'allahi waqtun, that I have an experience with Allah. Li ma'allahi waqtun la yas'uni malakun muqarrab wala nabiyyun mursal. That experience, the secrets of that experience, no exalted angel or exalted prophet of Allah is aware of. It's such a secret relation or experience I have. There are experiences that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that when he met Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in whichever form he was in, whether he was in a state of wickedness or whether he was in a state of sleep. So these experiences, no exalted angel, Malakun Muqarrab, no Muqarrab angel is aware of what transpired between me and my Allah. No angel knows. Wala Nabiyyun Mursal, and not even any sent prophet of Allah is aware of what transpired between me and my Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So high secret. But whenever the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam had an experience of this nature, a very mystical experience, secret experience with Allah, then he used to mention to Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, "Oh my Siddiq, oh Abu Bakr, I had an experience with Allah, full stop." Not what happened. I had an experience. Like you say, I met somebody. You don't have to say what you spoke with that person. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam just mentioned to Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, I had an experience with Allah. I had a very secret and special meeting with Allah. What transpired, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not divulge in this. He did not tell this to Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. 7 days before the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam passed away from this dunya, these experiences became very often. Meaning that he frequently had these experiences. And 7 days before he left this dunya, he did not even mention to Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq about these experiences. Reason? Ghousul-Waqt Sayyidi Abdul Aziz al-Dabbagh al-Maghribi radiyallahu ta'ala an, in his famous anecdotes, his malfuzat, which was combined and compiled by his very close murid and khalifa, Hafizul Hadith Sayyidi Ahmad bin Mubarak al-Saljamasi radiyallahu ta'ala. He's a very great imam and a very great scholar, very great wali of Allah, was the murid and khalifa of this great ghaus of his time, Sayyidi Abdul Aziz Dabbagh al-Hasani al-Maghribi radiyallahu ta'ala. He states in this malfuz, the reason why Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam did not divulge or did not mention these experiences 7 days before he passed away, this frequent experiences, is because of the intensity of radiation. the intensity of power, the intensity of light and nur that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam had absorbed from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That when he spoke, if he had to speak, it would have burnt Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq. You see, when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam had a talk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, an experience, then obviously when Allah blesses a servant with an experience, He beams a light on him. And accordance to the capacity of the individual draws that light. Right. Now, nobody has the capacity like the beloved Habib sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He has the biggest capacity. And the type of light that Allah beamed on him in these experiences was absolutely special. And more so special because when Allah concentrated on him, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala focused on him, He focused the beam of His divine being, His Zat, not His attributive qualities. Because this was between creator and creation, lover and beloved. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala beamed His light of His divine being, His Zat, on the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which is the most intense light that you can ever think about. There's no other light that is more intense than the light of Allah, Allah's being. So Allah beamed His light of His Zat on His Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam was given that capacity and power, right, to absorb this beam of Allah's divine being that was focused upon him. So when you absorb the light of Allah's divine being, what happens is that it creates such intensity and such power within yourself that when you talk, you are actually releasing that energy and light. So if Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had to speak to Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq about that experience, because it now triggers of that light that he got from that experience. So when he said, if he had to say Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, "Oh Abu Bakr, I had a special meeting with Allah, the light and power and energy that should have been released from the lips of the beloved Habib alayhi salatu wasalam was so powerful that it would have burnt him." So 7 days before he passed away, the intensity of meetings and the intensity of light increased, and therefore Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not release this intensity, or he did not tell or inform Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq that I had a special meeting with Allah, or I had a special relation with Allah. So when you see, a human being is like a sponge. Now transfer of power, transfer of light and transfer of nur, if you transfer it from yourself or from one person to another, it requires that power of absorption. Like Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala an. For example, I'll give you an example here, between the difference between an ordinary human and a Siddiq. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam released the light of Allah, and the power of absorption from the heart of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq absorbed it. The Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam released the power and the light by speech, or by coming in contact, or even seeing His glorious face that was shining of the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right. He is a manifestation of the light of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He released it in Makkah Mukarramah, but a person by the name of Abu Jahl saw the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He heard the words of the Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, but they did not have a power of absorption.